This is a saturation curve diagram. We are having the TS diagram. In this diagram, this is the saturation line, and before this region, there is the liquid region. This region is the liquid plus vapor region, and this is the vapor region. This is also known as the liquidus line, and this is also known as the vapor line. Okay. So now I am making the processes here. So I have drawn the two temperatures, that are condensation temperature and the evaporator temperatures. Okay, and the pressure of condensation is known as Pk, and the evaporator pressure is marked as P naught. So, and here we can see that I have marked some points 1 2 2 dash, and here 1 dash. Now the process from 1 dash 1 2 double dash 2 dash, this is the representing the reverse Carnot process, and this 2 dash to 2, it represents the modified process. Okay, so now let us see what is the dry compression and wet compression over here. Okay, so we can very well see that dry compression means that the vapor would be dry. What does it means? That it will already be in completely in the vapor form, and wet compression means some amount of moisture will be involved in that. Okay, so we can see that moisture region is here. This is the region where the liquid and vapor, both phases of the both phases of the substance are present. But after this line, there is only the pure vapor. Okay, this region is also known as superheated region. There is no moisture content present after this line in the mixture. So this region, this whole region is also known as superheated region. Superheated region. Now the process 1 dash to 2 dash, it is occurring in the liquid plus vapor region. That means the moisture is also present in the vapor. So this is the wet compression region. That means the process from 1 dash to 2 dash, this is wet compression. Okay, and the process from 1 to 2, this is occurring in the superheated region, or the region in which there is only vapor in the mixture. So from 1 to 2, it is the dry compression, and from 1 to 2 dash, 1 to 2 double dash, this is representing the Carnot cycle. This is the for Carnot cycle. We will talk about it, why this modification is done, why we increase the point from 2 double dash to 2. Okay, now let us compare that why we had not proceeded along the wet compression, why we go for the dry compression. So now we have mentioned all these three processes, all these three types of compression: wet compression, dry compression, and the Carnot cycle representation. Now why? Now we know that for compression, we know two types of compressors are there. Those are reciprocating compressors, and other one are centrifugal or screw compressors. Reciprocating compressors are intermittent flow machines. Intermittent flow means that they do not supply the compressed substance continuously, and while these are the continuous flow machines. Now there is a limitation in the compressors about handling of a particular substance that can be compressed in them. Now in case of reciprocating compressors, the wet compression process or the compression in this liquid plus vapor region is not found suitable. This is due to the two reasons. First reason behind this is the liquid refrigerant that is present in this region, if we are compressing using the reciprocating compressor, that may be trapping of liquid refrigerant may be trapped in the head of the cylinder head, in the head of cylinder, and that may also damage the compressor bulbs, compressor bulbs and the cylinder itself. This is the first reason that the liquid refrigerant may get trapped in the head of the compressor. It may damage the compressor valves and also it may damage the cylinder itself. Now let us make a comparison. Let us assume that if a compressor runs at a speed of 2800 rpm, that means for one revolution it will take 0.021 second. Means for one revolution it will take this much time, and we know that the state 2 days, the state 2 days here is theoretically dry saturated, but practically when the process will be operating, the mixture will definitely be containing some of the liquid droplets that would be suspended in the gas. Now as we have noted here, the compression process is quite fast, so the time taken by the compression process is very much small as compared to the time needed for the evaporation of droplets in this process. So there is always the chances that the liquid would be trapped in the head of cylinder, and definitely it will damage the compressor and the other components. The second point is that if the liquid droplets or if the liquid refrigerant droplets are trapped, they may wash away the lubricant oil that is being applied to the balls of the compressor cylinder, and if the liquid refrigerant is being washed away, it will increase the wear of the cylinder components, and that is not something that is desirable. This is not desirable, okay, and it will reduce the efficiency of the compressor and the process will not be smooth. Now that we have talked the two reasons, that's why bed compression is not preferred in case of centrifugal compressors. In case of centrifugal compressors, we never use bed compression. Okay, bed compression is not desirable in case of reciprocating compressors. In case of reciprocating compressors. Now we have talked about this, that for the BCRC cycle we generally use the compression in the superheated region. Okay, so what we do in the evaporator, we never do the compression in the liquid plus vapor region. So at the low temperature pressure we generally compress it in the superheated region. So from the point first we are compressing it to the point 2 over here. This is the actual, or you can say the BCRC compression or the practical compression cycle. This is the modified compression. Okay, also this extra thing that is found, if we draw the Carnot cycle corresponding to this process, this compression process, So that is between these two temperatures Tk and T naught. So the Carnot cycle just operates in two temperatures, so that's why if we extend this condenser to this line or this dry compression line, we get this point 2 double dash. So this is representing the Carnot cycle process. Okay, now the difference between this region 1 2 dash and let us call it as point 1 dash, and between 1 2 double dash 2 dash and 1 dash, this region, this area, this is known as superheat horn, and this is just a name given to it. So it is known as superheat horn. Superheat horn. That's it for the process.